Hi Divas, happy Advent, day number 2. Let's start with our Happy Planner sticker. And let's see if I can get into it better than last time. Okay, day number 2. Here we go. Ooh, cool. A cute little stocking. Nice. I can use that on my calendar this week as well. And again, that's from the Happy Planner. All the links are down below to these calendars. It's day 2. Shall we see what day 2 in the crafty corner is? Oh, you want to see what I got yesterday? Yesterday. It was a cute little gnome. A pom-pom, and they had the gold cord. The gold cord was in box number 25, it said. So, no, I didn't open them all up. It just said that. So, we're going to open up and see what craft number 2 is today. Okay. And it looks like number 2 is, can you see that all the way up here? This little strange little box here. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Number 2. Oh, it's a skinny one. What are we going to make today? Oh, I opened the box wrong. Nuts. I've got to use these next year for the kids. Huh. I wonder what that... Oh, it is a diamond painting. That's why it did it. There is a diamond painting. There is some wax. They give you special drills. Looks like there's 6 colors here. It's a Santa and a gift package. There it is. It's one-sided. That's cute. And let me see what the instructions say, because we know how to do it. Doesn't mean everybody's going to. And there you go. It doesn't give you a tray. It just tells you to spill them out. Isn't that interesting? But that's okay. We have our tray from our Nutcracker that we're using. And we have our wax pen that I have, that I'm using. I love these for the specials and for regular ones. It would go a long way to getting rid of all that plastic. It would go a long way to get rid of all the plastic from the pens if we either, if we went to the wax that you just sharpen in a pencil sharpener. You know, a little hand pencil sharpener. That's all you need to do. Actually, there are 9 colors in this. There's white and clear crystal, red, gold, dark red, a yellow, a purple, and a light purple. Pretty. Well, I'll do these before tomorrow, and you can see them tomorrow when they're finished. That's cool. I won't need the hot glue gun plugged in for this one. Okay, let me put this little thing back in. This little box back in. Alright, and there's no number 3 on the, or no number 2 on the Diamond Art Club one, because it's every other day. But we do have Cateared today. We do have Cateared, remember? So let's see what Cateared has today. Alright. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I can move you up a little bit to see it. Yep, number 3 is up here. This box is so pretty. So, so pretty. Okay, let me show you what number 3 is. Oh, there we go. It is a little long box today. Let's get in here. Oh. Okay, this is cool. It is an everlasting placer, a single placer. That's neat. Very neat. I can use that for sure. Lots of traffic out there today. Anyway, I can use that for sure. I'm going to tie this back up again. And last of all, let's choose another. Let's choose another nutcracker. Shall we? I put all the extra spare drills in little packets yesterday. Take out. And we'll just pick one at random in here. Let's see, the one I got on top here is, ooh, blue and red one. Let's make this one today. Okay, I'll just move that out of the way. Maybe if I have time, I'll do the other two that I got in the crafty box. So, let's see. Oh, and what I did was the gold cord came in one long strand for the crafty box. So what I did was I measured them, cut them in 24. But now I don't know. I might have to do 25 because of this extra one. I only have one cut out, so I don't know. We'll have to see how I do that, but yeah, okay. Let's take the plastic covering off of the soldier here. All right. And where to start? Where should we start with him? He likes, I think number 3 would be a good place to start, the red. Number 3. Here's a lot of red. So how was your day yesterday? Did you get anything accomplished? Do you have any outside decorations if you do that kind of thing? Do you have any decorations outside? My mom did it before Thanksgiving, but she doesn't light them up until after Thanksgiving. It's warmer in these parts to set them up and then just light them up later. That's the easy part. My daughter and a friend of hers, 2 friends of hers, helped my mom this year. She puts all the wicker furniture from outside up in the barn, and she gets all her plants, her delicate plants in, and we put them in a basement under a grow light, and she waters them like once a month down there. She has it all set up and all, you know, all ready to go. Miss Martha Stewart. I call her Martha Stewart and Martha Bethany all rolled up into one. She really does a fantastic job entertaining, and she loves doing it. So she is our hostess every Christmas Day. That's one of our traditions. The other one that you might have heard me talk about is the Christmas cookies. Every year, starting in October, we bake cookies together once a month. My mom and I, my daughter on occasion, my mom's best friends, 2 of her best friends, used to be 3, and one of their daughters, who I grew up with like a cousin. Oops, I missed some 3s. I didn't do them. Excuse me. So, the 5 of us, 5 or 6 of us every week, we bake 2 or 3 different kinds of cookies, usually 2 right now. We used to do 3. And for 10 weeks, we skip Thanksgiving week, and we usually end the first week in December. Unless we have something to do. Like this year, Mom and I went on the cruise, so we had to extend it to the second week in December. But we bake 2 different kinds of cookies for 10 weeks, so we at least have 20 different kinds of cookies. And we split them. You know, we make several batches of each, and we split them, which is always fun. I think I'm going to do the 10s next. Do you hear all that traffic outside? Holy cow. Oh, wait, there's a 3 in the middle of the belt buckle. Should I do the 3s next? No, that's not a 3, is it? That's a 9. It's hard to tell without my I have my glasses on, but I've been using a magnifying glass lately. The little light-up magnifying glass that I can just push a button and it lights up. Oh my gosh, that's been one of the best tools lately. Let's do this here. Okay. This will be so cute. I have, I'll show you the Christmas cookies when they're all done. This coming Tuesday is our last cookie baking day. And when I put all the trays together to take to work and to give out as gifts and that kind of thing, I'll show you the cookies that we make. I'll show you the tray full of them. There's a mouse. There's lots of almond cookies. There are almond sticks that are dipped in chocolate and then sprinkles and nuts and mint, crushed mint. We have the peanut butter cookies with the big Hershey Kiss on top. We do a brownie that has, it's like 2 layers of brownie with a layer of mint in the middle. We do pastries and tarts, little tiny tart cups that have like a little pecan pie in the tart cup. We do lemon and orange cookies. We do painted, like rolled cookies. We do snickerdoodles. We used to do whoopie pies. We haven't done them in a while. We do tinglings, which are, well, they're all gone already. They don't make it out of my refrigerator except right into my mouth. They're chocolate. You put melted chocolate on Chinese noodles and peanuts mixed together. Oh my gosh, they're so wonderful. What other kinds do we do? We used to do a honey cookie that we put a colored glaze on. It was like painting cookies, 2 different ones. We used to do peach blossoms, which were like a whoopie pie. You don't know what a whoopie pie is? Whoopie pies are like 2 chocolate cakes, little rounded cakes with sweet white icing in the center. That's a whoopie pie. That's a Dutchie, Pennsylvania Dutch cookie. They make them in Lancaster in huge quantities. We make them little bite-sized whoopie pies. We do oatmeal cookies, oatmeal raisin, oatmeal walnut. We do the traditional chocolate chip, but we all do those on our own because we all like have our own favorite style of chocolate chips. Some like them soft, some like them crispy, some like them big and fat, some like them thin. You know, so we all do our own chocolate chips. And we do almond candy canes. We do chocolate and vanilla pinwheels. I think I've almost named them all by now. So that's some of our traditions. Let's see. I think I will do the 9 next. Black. In the feet. Oh, they're 8s. They are 8s. That's a 6. These are 8s. So I only have 1 9 in the middle, or is that an 8? Let me see. They might be 8s. Okay, I'll put that away. I'll use the 8s instead. Can you see what I'm making without having all that stuff in the way? Yesterday I told you tell you what a Belschnickel is. Well, if you know a German tradition called Krampus, it's a really ugly version of Santa Claus. It's a mean one that, like, they go around and spank naughty children and there's no coal for these ones. They go around and play tricks on the naughty children instead of leaving them gifts. But that's just, you know, obviously we give gifts to our kids. But if they were naughty that year, I mean really exceptionally naughty, like got in jail or something like that, where we threaten them like, you know, Belschnickel's going to come and get you this year. And there are uglier legends that go with it, but, you know, I choose not to scare my kids like that. Some of the uglier legends. If you go to Germany's festivals and things, and you know about Krampus, you'll hear some of the legends. Did you know those fairy tales can be really, really dark. Really, really dark. Where the children don't come out too well on top of it all. I need a number 1 for the hair and chin. Yep, that's one. These go so quick. I think I'll do the other 2 as well, so I stay on top of it all, huh? Right. Let's see. My grandparents used to raise geese. And I live on my grandparents' property, on my parents' and grandparents' property. And we'd have a goose for every holiday. My grandfather would go out and dispatch the goose and clean it and bring it in. And my Nana, good Pennsylvania Dutch cook that she was, she would dress it and cook it. And we'd have a goose every year. A goose and a ham. We still have ham. We have turkey now. Let's see. My grandparents are no longer with us. And the tradition, some of the traditions died out with them. I mentioned over Thanksgiving that we like ground cherry pie. Oh, I missed a top. Ground cherries are... I'll have to find the name for them. They are little green berries that come in this like green casing, a thin casing. They grow that way, and you pick them, and I think it's a 6. And spread them out on a screen. Like we used to have like sawhorses out there and with a plank between them. And that's blue, but I don't know. I don't see number 6. Is 6 blue? Here you are. Here you are, 6, yeah. And we let them dry for a week or 2. Only my brother and I would go out and taste the sample to make sure they were okay. They would turn from green to yellow, kind of like gooseberries, and they're smaller than gooseberries. And oh my gosh, you put them with sweet sugar. Oh, my brother and I just absolutely love ground cherries. Now there's a Mennonite farmer near here that has a florist, what do you call them, greenhouses. And they grow them and sell them. They grow a lot of vegetables too, and they sell them during the year. So we go down there and get a couple quarts, pints or quarts, and shell them and make a pie. My aunt makes corn pudding. Corn pudding is basically a custard. It's a corn custard, and you use not creamed corn, but you use whole kernel corn, and you mash them up in the blender, and eggs and milk and flour, and then you put it in a hot water bath, and it bakes into a custard. Now it's kind of a more solid custard. It's not like the jiggly custard you get in the middle of a donut. It's more set up than that, and I like it when you know that there's the kernels of corn in it. I'm not taking this out of your viewing range, am I? Here. That's what I like. Am I getting you hungry yet? We also do... There he is. There's the nutcracker. We also do the Christmas pickle. You have a glass pickle that you hang on the tree, and the first one to find it on Christmas morning gets an extra gift. Let's see. But usually we kind of like hide it in an obvious spot so that the kids weren't knocking down the Christmas tree on their way to trying to find a pickle in the morning. My mom used to come up with all kinds of different ways. You know, when you get to be teenagers, you open your gifts so fast, and yeah, you go around and you want to see all the kids open their gifts. You don't want to miss anything. There we go. Let me show you the tree so far. The tree so far. You don't want to miss the kids opening their gifts, their special gifts. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll cut that out. Here, that's not good. Here we go. Yeah, you don't want to miss the kids opening their special gifts on Christmas Day, so you try to, you have games so that it takes them longer to get to them. And we used to, wait, I need to get some more baggies. Oop. This one's in a toolkit that has gone bust, so I'll use these baggies. Yeah, so she made things ingenious ways to have us go hunt for our gifts. And one week we, let's see, this is the letter F here. Come on, you. I'm just going to cut them all apart here right now and then open them one at a time. She would like hide the gifts around the house and leave clues. Like we'd have to guess the rhyme, to find where the gift was hidden in the house, and we'd have to go find it. That was one year. Another year, she hid the gifts too, but this time she had colored yarn that would go from package to package to package, and you came down and the living room was spread out like a spider web. It was so funny. And you would be told what color yarn is your color, and you would go find it. And it's just so funny. We had a great time that time. Another one, let's see, what else did she do? Oh, well, we did for our kids when they got older. We did the same kinds of things. We did it from them when they were little. We made puzzles. And each puzzle piece had a clue on the back to where that puzzle was. And they had to go find that one. The clue to the next one was stuck to that box. So they had to go find that. And then they're each puzzle pieces. And in the end, to get their big gift, I think that year we got them bikes. We got them bicycles. So it was a big gift. And we hid them downstairs and that. And I think, yeah. Then the puzzle, you'd put the puzzle together, the picture on the front, and then on the back would be the final clue to the big gift at the end. Another year, we had one of those mini tape recorders, and this was like in the 80s, so we could speed it up, we could record it sped up or slowed down. So we had Santa's voice in a really deep, slowed down voice. Of course, that wasn't my husband's. And then we sped it up and told them the clues as to where to get their gifts in a squeaky little elf voice. So we would do that. That was one year. Even though it was cold, whoops. even though it's cold here in the winter, one year we had the packages wrapped in plastic and foil and that kind of thing, and we hid them outside like Easter eggs. Yeah, at Christmas. What else did we do? Well, every year it was a big to-do because we would go to, we would have my parents down for breakfast so that they would watch their grandkids opening the gifts. And then we'd go up to my mom's for lunch and open gifts with them before lunch. Then my aunt and cousins would come and everybody else would come. We'd exchange gifts with them after lunch. And then at the end of the day, when we're all exhausted, we would go to my in-laws' house down the road and exchange gifts with them and just have a really light, like a sandwich supper or something at their place. And so they got to, they didn't have to drag their gifts out, and the kids would always have fun. They were exhausted by the end of the day, which was difficult sometimes because when they were real little, they would be cranky. And I hated to have them cranky from my in-laws, but, they'd get through it. They grew older. They grew out of that. We all lived real close to each other, so it was just our choice until they didn't, until they decided to move to Arizona. Then they used to mail things. Part of our Christmas tradition, my in-laws always bought coats for my grandkids. So yesterday we went out, I told you, on yesterday, so we went out and got Christmas coats for the grands. So that was yesterday. What else do we do? Well, Christmas Eve always started at church. Holidays always started and ended at church. We weren't allowed to celebrate the holiday until after we were coming home from church, because the holiday started celebrating the religious aspect of the holiday, and for us, we were Christians, so for us, that's Jesus. And I loved singing in the choir. I still would like to, but it hasn't been working out lately. And that, to me, the Christmas concert, it used to be so big that we'd have it the week before Christmas, which was always like, sometimes it fell on my birthday, which was the best. And you'd watch the traffic outside. I apologize. The traffic is really bad right now. I wanted to make sure I got this done for you and up earlier in the day than yesterday's. So, since I have to go to work later in the day, oh, that's a different color there. Well, the 4, that's a red here. Bump. All right. Anyway, where was I? The holiday. I mean, the candlelight service on Christmas Eve was always like the highlight of my entire year. It just was so awesome. I miss it. I miss leading worship on Christmas Eve and standing up in front, reading the scripture verses, and seeing everybody light their candles and sing Silent Night, and just watching the glow of the candles throughout the entire sanctuary, and the hushed tones, and just the beauty. The beauty would bring tears to your eyes. And it meant so much to me. That to me would be Christmas. And then we'd go up to my dad's relative's place in a different town, and they would have an open house on Christmas Eve, and there wouldn't be any gifts or anything. We would just bring, oh my gosh, these trucks outside. There wouldn't be like gifts exchange or anything. We would just, bring Christmas cookies, and it was an open house type thing, which was a lot of fun. And we'd see relatives we don't get to see always. When we were real little, we did exchange gifts, and it was with my grandmother's sister and her family. So that was Christmas Eve, and it just evolves over the years, Christmas Eve is never the same. It's never the same as what you remember it when you're younger. No, I don't think there are any of those on there. So, and that's disappointing when you figure that out. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's a 3 in there. I used to think about all the romantic things that could happen. And I married a guy that is romantic to a point. He's sweet, and he can be very romantic when he wants to be. It just isn't always at the top of his mind. I appreciate him for other things now. But I used to be disappointed that it wasn't always as romantic as I wanted it to be. But, you learn that there are other things in life to look for. It's not always about your own wants and needs either. We got a blast out of finding a family that we knew that needed a blessing, and we would go out and get the kids gifts, and we would do it on the down low. We would not tell anybody we were doing it, and we would just sort of bless them. Almost like ring the doorbell and leave type of thing. Or we'd have somebody else deliver them, or we would just go ahead and mail them, or whatever. That's when you could afford to mail a whole lot of stuff out. I am realizing how much mailing costs, even across the border. But that's neither here nor there. It would make us so happy to be able to do something for somebody else who needed something. And that would be the nostalgia. What were your Christmas traditions? I'd love to know. What do you love to do that sometimes you only get to do at Christmas time? Do you have traditions? Do you go to different relatives' houses? Do you participate in any kind of religious services? Whether it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Festivus for the rest of us? That's what my brother-in-law always liked to say. Festivus for the rest of us. That's a Seinfeld reference, isn't it? Yeah, no. What are your traditions? If you are from a country that has different... what do you do in Australia where it's hot? You're in your summer, we're in our winter. What do you do there? Maybe it's more authentic to the original Christmas, which is just supposed to, be the march across the desert, so to speak. When Jesus was escaping Herod, after the wise men got there. I mean, maybe it's, Nazareth, I would imagine, is a pretty warm place during the day. It's a desert, so I imagine it's cold at night. I've never been there. It's on my bucket list. But tell me how you celebrate. Is it cold where you are? Do you have snow? Do you put lights in palm trees? How do you celebrate? What do you have games that you play? Are you alone at Christmas? Do you remember your childhood Christmases? Were they any better? Were they difficult because your family was difficult to be around? Did you make it better for your family as you got older? Did you say bah humbug and not bother at all? And all of it's understandable. We go through a lot of trauma in our lives. A lot of it is on the holidays. A lot of it, they put so much hype on the TV about this being the perfect holiday and getting the perfect gift. And people are going to be so in love with you because you did this and that for them. And I think we expect way too much out of our holidays. And that disappointment that inevitably comes afterward leaves everybody depressed. And that's a shame. Because that is not the true meaning of the season. That's not the truth. And there are more... Oops, there's some red I missed. More people who self-harm once the holidays are over, the week between Christmas and New Year, than ever before. And I do believe it's because we put so much hype into the holidays to make them wonderful and perfect, and they're never going to be that. We aren't perfect people, so how can we have perfect holidays? The best we can do is make ourselves happy by making others happy. That's your inspiration word for the day. And if you're lonely, reach out to somebody else, because chances are you are not the only one who's lonely. Go to a nursing home and talk to somebody. Ask the nurses there who needs a visit. Take some hand cream and some tissues, wrap it up in a little tissue paper, and take it in and say, hey, I heard you might like some company. Tell me about yourself. Who are you? Ask the nurses who might need a visit, who would be good to visit, and be Santa Claus for somebody else. Sinterklaas. That, I think, is the best way to share the beauty of the holidays. My husband loved to be Santa Claus. He used to get dressed up in the whole outfit. He has the whole outfit. And at that time, he used to have his beard bleached because it was a dark blonde, and he wanted a white blonde for the holidays. He would let it grow during the year, and my mother, who's a hairdresser, would bleach it. And bleach his mustache, too. God love him. I don't know how he breathed through that. Ugh, that ammonia, all that bleach and stuff. Ugh. But he did. And he got the biggest kick out of being Santa Claus. One time we were at is that F in there? That's F. We were eating in a diner, and we had just come... Wait a minute. I need to do around the belt there. We had just come into a diner. We had come from being Santa Claus to someplace, I forget. And I always wanted to dress up as Mrs. Claus, but never got to do the costume. But anyway, we would go to different places and dress up and that. And at the restaurant, there was a little girl that was sitting near us who kept looking over at him. and looking over at him and looking over at him. And then she was busily doing something, so we ate and everything. Before she left, her mother came up and said, I hope you don't mind. I hope this we're not bothering you. But her daughter colored a picture of, like, she made a picture of Santa and the reindeer, and she colored the picture and gave it to him. It just, oh my God, it broke our hearts. Like, oh my gosh, this is so special. Those are the memories I will live with my entire life. And it's because, just because you were there. You know, I really believe that you are led sometimes to be at the right place at the right time. And the reward is something like that happens. It's beautiful. And we couldn't stop talking about that for years. Oh, another tradition. This is a fun one. We used to have a lot more counted because of when you're out shopping, you see a lot more of them, but I would count Christmas trees that you see on top of cars when the car is driving. If you see a Christmas tree on top of the car driving down the highway, we would yell a number. 1, 2, 3, and we'd see how many could come up with what year we'd have the biggest number. And it's going down and down and down because we don't go out and shop as much anymore. So I don't see that many. But my daughter will still at this now, she'll text me 1, 2. I think one of the biggest days I ever had was like 22 something. It was usually like 2 weeks before Christmas when everybody wants to get their tree up. And if you're out running around on a Saturday and a Sunday, that's the time to see them. At least in this area. So my daughter still does that with me. What else? It's always fun. I watch the Peanuts Christmas Carol every year. Every year. I love Peanuts. They are my favorite cartoon, my favorite characters of all times. I can't wait till Diamond Art Club does some Peanuts characters. I am so eager to see that. What was this? What letter was this? Letter F. Okay, that's all those. I know this is a little bit longer video, but I thought it was fun to talk about the traditions and stuff. And what else do we do? Oh my gosh. My mom decorates her beauty shop early, like the day after Thanksgiving, so that it's kind of festive when people come in. So let me come into the shop. She's 80 and she still does hair. She has less and less customers. They aren't able to come to drive, or somebody brings them, or they're temporarily or permanently housed in a facility. She used to go down to some of the facilities until they used to have hairdressers now on call that are there at the facility that you make appointments with, but she used to do that. Oh, this is nice. I like this dark purple. Really pretty. Oh my goodness. For Christmas, I want you all to be safe and healthy. I want you all to be happy. to spend some time with those you love and with those who love you. It doesn't have to be with a lot of food. It doesn't have to be with a lot of gifts. It doesn't have to come in packages with bows. Enjoy the music. Oh, when I was in retailing, oh my gosh, I would get so tired of the Christmas music. Oh, I would love the Christmas music we sang in church because it was a lot different than what you hear on the radio over and over and over again. And at that point, we were allowed to have Christmas carols playing in the retail. Now, I'm not going to be a boomer and say that, it's too bad we're not allowed to sing, have real Christmas music in the stores. Now, I really do believe that everyone should be comfortable shopping. And not everybody appreciates Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. In case you don't know it, that's a comedy song. Not everybody appreciates that music. Not everybody appreciates Holly chorus and that kind of thing. My grandson is now in chorus in school, which is awesome. It's so much fun. He likes to sing too. I asked him if he took home ec this year, because I was able to teach him home ec. The one time I substituted for the home ec teacher, and he was in my class. So cool. So, but I didn't substitute this year. Physically, I couldn't walk the school the way they wanted me to. Because obviously, if they have more than one teacher out and you need to split your time between several different classrooms, they're going to ask you to move, and that's fine. That's what we're there for. But I just can't go from one end of the school to the other end of the school and then back again. And feel good at the end of the day, Do you travel for the holidays? Do you go skiing? Do you go see relatives elsewhere in the world? Or over the river and through the woods? I can't wait to read some of your Christmas traditions. I should have a live this month and have you tell me your traditions. I would love to hear. We were thinking about, on the live, doing a Zoom. I would have to moderate it so that we don't talk over top of each other all the time, but so that we would ask a question and maybe everybody would pitch in toward that question and take turns telling about their experience. Like I would share the question ahead of time, maybe. Okay, what letter is that? Is that D? Yeah, it's probably D, because that's a different purple. And then, maybe we would have a once a month, like a question of the month type thing. That would be fun. What do you think? If you made it this far in the video, let me know what you think. What kind of questions would you ask? I'm still getting used to a software. I would like to have diamond painting artists and companies and all that kind of thing. I'd like to interview you guys and have you as guest speakers. I have 2 lined up. Well, 1 artist and 2 subscribers here to get to know so far, but I have to play with the software and be able to use it well enough so that it doesn't look like a mess. I'm so happy the way the live turned out the other day, aren't you? If you were there. It was so much fun. Crystal said that she would come over on Sunday and she would help me open some of the Advent wreath items, so that the Advent calendar items, so that she would be involved in this. You don't just hear me yapping away. We went to dinner last night before we got the coats, and oh my gosh, so much food. I still have 3 meals to eat from it. And I am not joking. I only got a big salad with like crispy chicken pieces in it. And I got a side order of fries. And oh my gosh, I could have eaten, it was more than 1 meal, just the French fries. It was unbelievable. Delicious too. And I'd have 2 meals out of the rest of the salad. Delicious too. Oh my goodness. I don't know how they make money on them. No way. See the little package now? Got the package made. That purple package. And the rest of the Santa. Let's see. C is the face, so we're going to do that. Next. I have so many things to put away. From the projects I got done in November and before, I have lots of the gemstones to put away, a lot of the drills to put away. Some of them have DMC codes, some don't. But the ones that don't have DMC codes, I'm just going to use them for different projects and not worry about coding them, because it would get crazy. I'll go cross-eyed trying to match the colors up. Let's see. Here we go. That's all the face there was. My goodness. Now the 2s and the B's. And then I'll have more to put away. I think that's the hardest part of decorating, is taking it all back down again and cleaning. And then I leave it up till like Epiphany, till like the 12th of January. I used to, when I used to decorate. And then I would, put it all away, pack it, and run it down to the attic, up to the attic, or down to the basement, wherever I had it stashed that year. And the house would be so bare. So bare afterward. But it was sad. My mom has 1 Christmas tree she leaves up the entire year, and she redecorates it for the seasons. It'll get like pink Victorian ornaments for like Valentine's Day and hearts, and then for March and April, I mean, she'd have like Easter eggs on it. She'd have flowers on it. Angels are good any time of year if you ask me, but she'll have all kinds of things on it each season. Every couple months she'd change it. I was going to do the same thing. I came down, I had a color code. I'd use these codes, these colors for this month. And my gosh, I was very ambitious. I was going to be doing a big counter cross stitch project for each month. I had it for the seasons, but I didn't get as many done as I wanted to. And honestly, I just ran out of time. I still have lots of goodies to do. Let's see. Anything that you wanted to do for the holidays that you just haven't had the time to do? You haven't had the ambition to do? Or you started and couldn't finish? My friend used to put together kits called Jessie trees. And they were different scripture verses for different days of Advent toward Christmas. And they'd have a symbol that you would open and craft for each day. And I still have the kit. I still have the kit. I haven't put it together. I bought the kit from her, but I didn't put it together yet, and that's just awful. I thought, oh, I'm going to be a grandmom, and I'll get it done, and I'll get all these children's clothes made, and all this other fun stuff done. Well, my grandkids are 11 and, well, they're 10 and 12 right now, 11 and 13 in the beginning of the year, and I still have baby clothes I'd like to make. Will this great-grandmom get to the point where I can do that? I don't know. Should I just give the stuff away and have somebody else who has the time and the ambition do it? I still want to do it. Oh, boy. You just don't know what life will bring. My mom has made the New Year's resolution that every day, I think it's going to be more like every week, but don't tell her that every day she's going to go through a drawer, a shelf, or a box and get rid of lots and lots more stuff in the house. And I'm thinking, don't get rid of sentimental stuff that I'll be looking for later on. She said, well, you don't entertain like I used to. I said, well, I never got the chance to. But there's certain things I said, now, this is sentimental to me, this is sentimental to me. Please do not get rid of those. And then my cousin, I was talking to my cousin about that, and then she started telling her mom, don't get rid of this, don't get rid of that. There's Santa. There's Santa. So we have our two other ornaments in addition to our nutcracker for today. I thank you for joining me. We will have lots more. Oh, there's traffic is ridiculous. Thank you for joining me. We will have lots more fun things to do as we get closer and closer to Christmas. I am going to miss being with you every day by the end of that. I'm going to be so used to doing that again. I did it for a while. Then life caught up, and we shall see. We'll see what happens. Well, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye, Divas.